Charlie has 2 boxes that she can wrap Caroline's gift in for her birthday. She wants to choose the box with the least amount of surface area because obviously she wants to save money on gift wrapping paper. So we need to decide which one she should use. Now, we talked about this, and I believe it was Jasmine told us the formula that I can use, implement to calculate the volume, or the surface area of a right rectangular prism. Oh, come on, pen. You got to work for me now. So taking a look at this, we need to find surface area, and I'm going to type it up here until my pen gets re-registered. Is it going to register for me? Come on, slow. If I were to put the surface area of a right rectangular prism, come on, sometimes this pen slowly works for me. Come on. Because this probably be really tough to do if I don't have a pen. All right, well, we'll try typing it out. Formula is surface area equals S equals 2 times AB plus BC plus CA. And now we're saying, well, where do I get those ABs, those BCs, those CAs from? All right, where do all those come from? Well, all I really need to do, boys and girls, is just go like this. I call each one of these A, B, C. And I'm going to change the color so we see. Hey, so we'll call the length A. We'll call the width B. And we'll call the height C. Now, obviously, I have how many boxes? 2. I have 2 boxes, not 6 boxes. I have 2 boxes. What I need to do now is I need to find the surface area of each box. They are 6 dimensions, but because there's 3 dimensions for each box. What I'm going to do is title 1 box 1, or box A, excuse me. So here comes box A. And I'm going to use the formula that Jasmine told me about. I'm going to say 2. Oops. But now, the dimensions for it are A is what? 13.5. Well, we can change that to a decimal, make it 13.5 times B, which is 3. And then we'll add that to B times C. Well, we know that B is 3 times C is 15.5. Plus, now we have 15.5 times 13.5, which is kind of big. And that'll help me find the surface area of box A. Let me label that box A. Now, because my pen's not working, I'm going to pull a calculator out here. Do some multiplication with this. So the first thing I do is 13.5 times 3. 13.5 times 3 equals 40.5. What I do now, this becomes, the 2 still stays on the outside, 2 times, 2 times 40.5 plus, now we have 3 times 15.5. Well, 3 times 15 is 45, so this has to be somewhere around 45. 15.5 times 3 gives me 46.5 plus, why is that typing? 46.5 plus 15.5 times 13.5. 15.5 times 13.5. 15.5 times 13.5 gives me 209.25. Well, 15 times 10 would be 150, right? So that makes sense. So we have 209. Come on, type 209. What was it? 209 and 2500. What must I do inside the parentheses first? Before I do anything outside the parentheses. What must I do first? You gotta be kidding me. Why is my keyboard not working now? Add them. Alright, let's see. For some reason I want to go to that underline. So I have to add those. Well, 40.5 plus 46.5 I think gives me what? 87? Right? 87 plus 295 is what? 296.25? Let me double check that. 40.5. Interesting. 40.5 plus 46 and 5/10 plus 209 and a quarter. 296 and 25/100. We good with that? What must I do next? My backspace key does not work. Huh. What does that say? Multiply by what? Multiply this by 2. There is a surface area for the first box. It is, now I got to label it correctly, surface area equals 592.5 square centimeters. We're okay with that? Now I'm just going to set up the next one because the bell's going to ring here momentarily. If I were to do the next one, and that's going to be box B. Come on, not backspace key? This drives me nuts. Where's Mr. Arbaugh? Box B equals, I can't make any mistakes where I type, 2 times, now A times B times C. AB, 14 times 3 1/4. Ah. Why will this not work? Underline it. Then hit space. That I did. Well, delete wasn't working either. Interesting. Never had it before. So this is 3 1/4. Oh. Wow. Interesting. 3 1/4. Type slow, Scott. Plus 3 1/4 times 12.5 plus, what will be the last 2? 12.5 times 14. Times 14. I begin to multiply all that out, and I have the 2 inside. Pull out this calculator real quick. We have 14 times 3 1/4 equals 45 and 5/10 plus 3 1/4 times 12.5. 3. I think it's because of this calculator that's messing things up. 3 1/4 times 15. Oh, times 12.5, sorry. Times 12.5 equals 40 and 625 thousandths plus 12.5 times 12.5 times 14. 175. What would I do with all 3 of those? Add them. So let's do 175 plus 40 and 625 thousandths plus 45.5 equals 261 and 125 thousandths. So it becomes 2 times 261 and 125 thousandths. We multiply those by 2. We multiply that by 2. Times this by 2. I get 522. And what was it? Quarter? And that should be square centimeters. Which box should I use? Box B. All right. You have a nice answer key for tomorrow. Sorry about the technology there.